starts right now.
A sister remembered in the wake of tragedy. A New Braunfels woman among the victims of a deadly plane crash. Tonight, memories of the pilot who lived for flying and her family.
And we told you about possible changes coming for people who violate SAWS's watering restrictions. And tonight, we go straight to the source. They'll explain what those changes mean for you.
But first, we begin with the developing story from the border. Tonight, the Mexican government says it is trying to remove a body along the floating barriers in the Rio Grande across from Eagle Pass.
So here's the thing. The Mexican government doesn't yet know who that person is, where they're from, or how they died. Governor Greg Abbott recently installed those barriers or buoys as a way to stop people from illegally crossing into the U.S. Now, it has been controversial because some people say that they violate human rights.
The U.S. Justice Department suing the governor of those floating barriers, asking the court to force Texas to remove it. We called the governor's office 2 hours ago, left a voicemail asking for comment. We haven't heard back yet.
Now, tonight we are learning more about the life of Devin Riley. She was the New Braunfels pilot who died in a plane crash at an air show in Wisconsin over the weekend.
Our night team's Avery Everett spoke to her family. Avery, her sister called Devin a go-getter, called her a role model.
Yeah, Devin was one of 13 in the Colley family. Her sister, Kaylin, called her a devoted wife, daughter, sister, and pilot.
Devin was so about hard work and, putting your head down and doing what it takes.
A dedicated pilot, even more devoted to her family.
Nobody had a bad thing to say about Devin, ever.
Devin Riley's family remembers her as a loyal and loving spirit.
But she had such a humble way about her where it was she just pursued her passions to the fullest extent. And it was inspiring and always has been.
Riley died Saturday morning when her plane crashed into a Wisconsin lake. The National Transportation Safety Board and the Federal Aviation Administration are currently investigating. Riley's sister, Kaylin Colley, says she died doing something she loved.
It was her passion. She wanted to share with other people.
At only 30, Colley says her sister was a fierce advocate for women in aviation.
She's always been a real big go-getter ever since we were growing up.
Inspiring not only the pilots she taught, but her entire family as well.
You just watch her in awe and amazement. It's all you can do.
Now, days after Riley's death, her sister says their family is finding ways to honor her memory.
We get to celebrate in a painful way her life.
Remembering Devin Riley as a pilot, but a person first.
She was always pursuing something and just the vigor and it was just always so inspiring.
Her sister says the outpouring of support over the past couple of days is a true testament to Devin's character. Her family has set up 2 celebrations of life to honor Devin with the community. We have details on both of those on KSAT.com. Steve, Stephanie.
Avery, thank you. Tonight, the Southside ISD wanted to prepare families. Some students there are returning to school in 2 weeks, so they handed out backpacks, supplies, even food during tonight's back-to-school bash at Southside High School. The school district says that parents are going to play a vital role in making sure that students succeed academically. Now, they report increasing enrollments, actually up 200 additional students from last year, and the district expects that number to just keep growing. Administrators also showed families the new metal detectors that are going to be in every Southside ISD school.
Sent out surveys to our community. 80% of our community was in favor of the metal detectors.
At least they're taking a step to try to secure the safety of the kids, for the kids. So, yeah, it's very impressive. I like it.
Now, the district is also encouraging parents to stay up to date with their kids' school so that their child has a smooth start to the school year.
A mother continuing to fight for justice for her son. This teenager, Sebastian Carpio, killed in 2020. His body found burned inside a stolen car. The main suspect's already been sentenced for the crime, and now there's been a second arrest in the case. But that case is still very much open, and the victim's mother still fighting.
I have a purpose. Sebastian and I have a purpose, and our purpose is to get all these individuals accountable for their actions.
16-year-old Edgar de la Cruz turned himself in after Sebastian's remains were found. He was charged with murder, later given a 25-year sentence. Felipe Angel Perez was officially indicted in June for tampering with evidence. who was found and arrested yesterday. Now, according to the indictment against him, Perez is accused of trying to alter, destroy, or conceal a shotgun and a cell phone that were evidence in the case. Perez is already bonded out of jail and is now awaiting a court date to be rescheduled. Police say Sebastian Carpio's case is still active and more arrests could be coming.
Tonight, the search continues for two people who left a baby in a church parking lot. That baby enduring temperatures of more than 100 degrees. Now we want to show you the people that police are trying to find, those two there. This happened back on July 17th. Surveillance video captured the man and a woman with a basket just outside of the Grissom Road Church in the 5400 block of Lost Lane. You see, they put the basket under an awning by the back door, left a note, and then just walked away. Now, police said the baby wasn't in distress, but his umbilical cord was still attached. If you know anything that can lead police to these people that you see on your screen, call Crime Stoppers. The number is 210-224-STOP. And child safety advocates and the San Antonio Fire Department want to remind everybody about the Baby Moses Law. It states that a baby can be surrendered with no questions asked if the baby is within 60 days old, is handed off at a fire station or a hospital, and is also unharmed. You could read more about the Baby Moses Law right now on KSAT.com.
This is a severe drought, and every drop counts. And we very much need everybody to follow those rules.
Talking about water wasters, the San Antonio water system says not everyone is following the rules under stage 2 water restrictions.
That's what we're in. And under those rules, homeowners can only use their sprinklers once a week. But some people are watering way more often, and those people can get fined. But as the night team's John Paul Barajas explains, SAWS is thinking about harsher penalties for those rule breakers.
Think you have one of the better lawns in the neighborhood?
I do.
And you're proud of that?
I am.
Stacy Golden says she waters her yard every 3 days. She's aware that she's supposed to water once a week under the current stage 2 water restrictions, but
because I spent a fortune on my sprinkler system and all my grass, and I don't want it to die.
And when it comes to her water bill,
I'm paying what I'm paying, which is a lot. I feel like I should be able to water at least 2 times a week.
Golden tells us she hasn't received a citation yet, but the San Antonio water system has issued at least 3,500 citations this year compared to the 7,000 total in 2022. Karen Gudd with SAWS says the once-a-week water rule is in place to spread out demand and prevent overwhelming the water system.
About 10% of our customers across the whole city who are regularly not following the rules. And that adds up to millions of gallons a day.
Watering days are determined by the last number of the home address. The municipal court citation sent to violators comes with a $150 fine, but that could change.
It's very time-consuming for everyone. So we're having a conversation about not having it be a criminal process, still having a consequence, but one that would be speedier to deal with and more flexible.
Gus says they're looking at adding fines directly to customers' bills. The charge would vary based on the amount of water used.
To have those rules be more impactful for the small number who are repeat violators, please follow the stage 2 rules of once a week, because if everybody does that, we avoid the possibility of going to more strict regulations.
Now, Gus says San Antonio has never gone into stage 3 water restrictions, and she doesn't think we'll have to as long as people follow the rules. But if we were to go into stage 3, that means watering would be limited once every 2 weeks. It's also important to note that this does not apply to people who water their lawns with just a regular water hose. As for the 3,500 citations issued this year, we have reached out to municipal courts to find out how many of those have been paid for and how many have been dismissed, but we have not heard back yet. At SAWS, John Paul Barajas, KSAT 12 News.
So SAWS wants to hear from you as it considers changing its penalties for water violations. You could just call them at 210-704-SAVE. And again, the number's on your screen. It's 210-704-7283. So now let's go to your Nightbeat News Flash for a look at some of today's big headlines. We will start with this. Governor Greg Abbott signing 2 new laws today that address street racing. One of those new laws gives police and prosecutors more power to crack down on street takeovers. That law is going to go into effect September 1st. The other law immediately went into effect, and that one allows police to immediately remove and impound cars that participate in street takeovers. San Antonio, Austin, and Fort Worth are just a few of the Texas cities that have been dealing with street takeovers this year. A fallout continues in the wake of former President Donald Trump's latest indictment. The former president is supposed to be in court tomorrow. He faces 4 criminal counts in the special counsel's probe into alleged efforts to overturn the 2020 election. The indictment also accuses Trump and 6 co-conspirators of creating, quote, fraudulent slates of electors in 7 states. And by the way, those alleged co-conspirators, they haven't been charged. And that's a look at your Nightbeat News Flash.
Happening tomorrow, a big announcement for the San Antonio Spurs. The team will host a news conference to announce a new major partnership. Earlier this week, we reported they're expected to announce a partnership with Frost Bank over naming rights for the current Spurs home, currently called the AT&T Center. We think that's going to change tomorrow. We'll be streaming tomorrow morning, 11 a.m., when they start on all of our major platforms like KSAT Plus, KSAT.com, and our YouTube channel. So make sure to tune in to the big announcement again tomorrow morning around 11 o'clock. Speaking of the Spurs, they're getting ready to move into their brand new state-of-the-art practice facility in Northwest San Antonio. Have you seen it off I-10? It's not just the team, though, that's excited for the grand opening. We'll explain.
Also, there's a big city council vote tomorrow over a debated project, what it could mean for the future of Brackenridge Park. It's after the break.
Is it a COVID comeback? According to the Centers for Disease Control, there's been a 12% spike in hospital admissions across the country due to COVID-19 in the past week. Here at home, the city updated its COVID-19 surveillance dashboard today. It's showing an increase of 916 cases this past week. UT Health says COVID-19 is here to stay, but not at the levels seen during the height of the pandemic. Officials say there have been lineages of the Omicron variant, but locally, a new strain has not been detected. We spoke with the doctor at UT Health. He says herd immunity has been established through the previous vaccinations and the boosters, causing infections to drop. But at the moment, there are no known efforts to push new or additional booster shots.
San Antonio City Council members are set to vote tomorrow on a much debated project over at Brackenridge Park. Council's going to vote on a work contract for the first phase to restore Lambert Beach and the pump house on the park's northern edge. That project was originally approved as part of a 2017 bond, but before that work actually begins, the Texas Historical Commission and the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers need to sign off on those plans. And we break down those plans for you on our website, KSAT.com.
A groundbreaking ceremony held today for a new community in San Antonio, and it's all part of a plan to bring more affordable housing to the community. That's why the mayor was there. Vista at Silver Oaks in north central San Antonio, built using the 2022 Affordable Housing Bond Funds, money the city promised to use to help with the current housing crisis in Bexar County. They opened this community with rental prices that are supposed to be between around $600 to $1,400 a month for those who qualify based on their average income.
So the San Antonio Spurs are about to move into a new home that is unlike anything else in the NBA. But no, it's not a new downtown arena.
Yeah, the $500 million Rock at La Cantera campus set to open soon off Loop 1604 and I-10. It's right near Six Flags. The multi-purpose facility, not just for the team, it's also for the fans.
For you.
Construction at the site is in its final stretch. That's going to be a huge video board there. The campus, more than 500,000 square feet, will include the Spurs' new practice facility, medical and rental space, as well as something called, I'm interested in this, the Spurs Club.
Yeah, me too. I have questions. Now, Frost Plaza is going to be a public space for live entertainment, music, a park. It's also going to have a splash pad for families. Spurs coaches and players are going to move into that performance center in about 6 weeks, and the public can go visit the plaza as soon as the season starts, which, it's a long way away, right? October.
It's closer than you think.
Yes, August just started, though. 90 degrees out there right now. And we'll send things on over to Adam. Adam, tell us something good.
Well, no, I've got plenty of good, we could say. It's just, if you love heat, then here you go.
This is true?
Perfect for you. Yes, more record-challenging heat is on the way. Unfortunately, no chance of rain in the forecast. I'll show you where the rain is right now, and we'll take a look at the tropics in a moment. But here's our trend going forward. 103 tomorrow, 104 Friday through the weekend, and 105 by Monday and Tuesday. Now, that's record-challenging. 5 of the next 7 days, we are likely to tie or break the record high temperature. Today, we missed it by a degree. 102 the high temperature, the average being 97. Morning low, 79, which is above the average of 76. Now today, we made it into the 5th place position for the most 100-degree days in a year here in San Antonio. We remember this graphic from last year. We just kept moving up the ladder. I'm afraid we're going to move up a few more spots here, at least another spot here within the short term. But now we're top 5, and we still have all of August and September to go. Looking at the high temperatures today, what stands out is this pink area over Texas, Oklahoma, even Louisiana. 106 the high in Dallas, 104 in Shreveport, and that's a humid 104. Even Oklahoma City, 103. The heat high centered right over northeast Texas and southern Oklahoma. It slid a little to the south today. And this is actually good news for rainfall in the desert Southwest in the Four Corners states. It's monsoon season out west, and as this heat high is over us, then it helps pull in this Pacific moisture into the western U.S., providing them with some needed precipitation. However, even for them, the tap's going to get cut off as the heat high starts to build over northern Mexico and southern Arizona, southern New Mexico. So we have that northwesterly flow aloft, which can open the door for a disturbance. We just don't have any disturbances to come through that open door, unfortunately. So we're looking dry. Looking at the rainfall potential over the next 7 days, this is one of our computer model renditions, but it's, I think, a pretty good estimate of where most of the rain is going to be falling, and it's generally north and east of Texas. I mentioned even the Four Corners, seeing their tap shut off a bit as that high builds westward. They're not going to be seeing much monsoon rain over the next 7 days. What about the tropics? Well, now actually there's not even a tropical wave that has the potential for development within the next 5 to 7 days. That could change as we go forward, of course, but right now it's very quiet in the Atlantic Basin, which includes the Gulf of Mexico. We have Hurricane Dora just southwest of Mexico that's moving away from North America, headed westward, and a 70% chance of development near Mexico. But right now, no indications we could tap into any of that much needed moisture. Tomorrow, more of the same. 79 at 7 a.m. By 5 o'clock, 103, which would tie the record for the day. The humidity will drop off a bit in the afternoon. That's one benefit, and that's something that at least keeps the heat index in check. Pleasanton tomorrow, 104, Cotulla, 106, Hondo, 101, New Braunfels, 103, downtown San Antonio, 103 for the high temperature. I put the records on the top of the screen here so you can compare the record high to our forecast. You see, in many instances, we'll get close to tie or even exceed it by about a degree, but that's the kind of heat we're dealing with right now.
All right, Adam, thank you.
All right, San Antonio high school quarterback getting a second chance in Cleveland.
Yes, and the NFL preseason kicks off tomorrow night with the Hall of Fame game. Kellen Mond is a backup quarterback for the Cleveland Browns, but he's going to get the start tomorrow night. And in college football, UTSA has some serious depth at running back coming up.
Coached together for 4 years and played together a lot for 4 years. We look the way it's supposed to look. Pretty sharp.
That's Coach Traylor after their first day of fall camp in Big Board Sports.
Football coverage brought to you by Davis Law Firm.
So no pads for the Dallas Cowboys at practice today in Oxnard, California. Now the boys' D-line added some beef when they drafted defensive tackle Mozzie Smith, who's listed at 6'3", 323 pounds. He's another big body on the D-line that makes playing linebacker for the boys a bit easier.
I love our group up front. I love our D-line room, the energy that they bring. Those big guys up front, I mean, those guys can play ball. They can get off the rock. They're quick. They're strong. They can hold up those blockers. Awesome for us to run around and make plays. So, I mean, we make a play. It's their play, too. So, you got to give credit to them.
After 3 straight days of work, the Houston Texans took today off. They will hit the field again tomorrow morning at 9. Rookie and third overall draft pick Will Anderson Jr. is having a great camp so far. He was asked about playing end and putting his hand back in the dirt again.
In high school, I was predominantly a defensive end. I never played outside linebacker until I got to Alabama. And then my last couple of years at Alabama, I played true defensive end, really. So putting my hand in the dirt wasn't hard at all. I wanted to get back to that anyway. I feel like that's my baby, and I can have more fun doing that part. So it's just really been a big blessing just, to be here and to be a part of this system.
Kellen Mond and the Cleveland Browns will kick off the preseason tomorrow night when they face the Jets in the Hall of Fame game. Mond was drafted by the Vikings in the 3rd round in the 2021 draft. A year later, he was waived, and the Browns picked him up. Now he will start in the Hall of Fame contest.
I'm really excited. First time putting a Browns jersey on in a game. Going to be able to start a Hall of Fame game, and been off to a good start in training camp, so I'm really excited.
Kellen, what does it mean to you? I mean, this is the game, first game of the year. Everybody's watching that. I mean, what does all that mean?
I mean, I think when you start to get more experience in the NFL, you start to realize, whatever you put on tape is going to be what people think of you and going to be your results. So every time you step on the field, your goal should be put good film on tape, play well, execute, and, at the end of the day, put the ball in the end zone. So that's what I'm most excited for.
The Browns will host the Jets tomorrow night at 7 in Canton, Ohio. Led by quarterback Frank Harris, the Roadrunners opened up fall camp this a.m. Head coach Jeff Traylor said Frank is throwing the ball as well as he's ever seen, and that was a very nice strike right there. When it comes to the running back room, the Roadrunners are sitting pretty with 8 guys, including lead back Kavorian Barnes. That's a very talented room. KSAT 12 Sports' Mary Rominger has more.
Larry, entering day 1 of fall camp, the attention is on UTSA's overwhelming depth at the running back position. It's great for longevity throughout the season, but it's also just another intriguing position battle we'll get to see unfold ahead of the season.
So it's definitely a lot more depth, but that's a good thing. You need people to be able to switch it out, rotate, and stay healthy. It's going to be a long season. We want to play all the way to January, so you're going to need everybody.
We can rotate any and everybody in any position, it's just with the competitiveness in the room, I feel like our team is going to be 2 times as better as we were last year.
The old heads just teach the new guys, and somebody else just steps up. You don't even know who it's going to be yet. I know y'all think I duck some of y'all's questions sometimes, which I do, but there are times I'm really not ducking them. It's just you don't know who it's going to be, but someone's going to step up.
The Roadrunners' first practice in Shells is this Friday, and we are exactly 1 month out from UTSA's season opener at Houston, September 2nd. Mary Rominger, KSAT 12 Sports.
Thank you, Mary. Spurs' Devontae Graham suspended after the break. Spurs veteran guard Devontae Graham was suspended 2 regular season games without pay as a result of a 2022 DWI charge, the NBA announced today. According to police, Graham, then a member of the Pelicans, was pulled over July 7, 2022 in Raleigh, North Carolina for driving 63 miles per hour in a 40-mile-per-hour zone and was arrested for showing signs of intoxication. His BAC was .11. The state limit is .08. He pleaded guilty in July. Graham's suspension will commence with the next NBA regular season game that he is eligible and able to play. The regular season begins in late October. In the big leagues, the Astros edged out the Guardians 3-2. Chas McCormick hit 2 homers and drove in all 3 runs for the Stros, and the Rangers beat the White Sox 11-1. Josh Young hit a homer and had 3 RBI for the Rangers. And in Texas League play, the Missions beat the Travelers 3-2 tonight for their 3rd straight win.
Any thoughts, Spree?
No, it's fine.
Yeah.
Good. Good sportscast.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate
Welcome, Mary, to the sports team.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah.
It's nice to finally get her on air.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see more of her. Thank you.
Yep.
We'll be right back.
Tomorrow on GMSA, we want to help you get outside. Some simple things you can do to get the most out of your yard with some ideas you may not be thinking about. All of it to make you feel at home. That's on GMSA starting at 4:30.
I'll let you know before we go, SAWS crews working to restore water service to several businesses.
So this is specifically happening on I-10 West at Calle Rialto in northwest Bexar County. SAWS officials say that 9 businesses are affected.
Yeah, if you don't know where that is, it's kind of where Ralph Fair Road crosses I-10 there. This reportedly happened after some contractors were adding new water lines. SAWS crews getting the water working again, hopefully by tomorrow morning.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Have a great night, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Good night.